Hello, testing, 1 2 1 2. Billy's got the flu. Yes, it's COVID, and I'm sitting next to you. I don't really.
No, it's alright if you got the flu.
Welcome to another episode of Minds Creed, and we're in a park lake thing. I don't even think they can hear the birds, you know, if I'm hearing it before.
No, that's just a real shame. They're so noisy.
We'll get some in there.
We'll have to get one to come a bit closer, I guess.
This is Chloe. Hit her up if you want any art. Oh, you hear my belly?
Yeah.
Alright.
Probably won't pick that up either.
What is wrong with our society today?
Okay, that's a big one.
We got one there, isn't it? Take it away, Claire. It's all on you, mate.
What do you think's the main thing that's wrong? Obviously there are so many things that are wrong. What do you think would fix?
The main thing that's wrong.
What would have such a big fix if it wasn't so wrong?
Just giving you leeway to think about your answer.
No, I know what my answer is actually.
Oh wow, already?
Yeah.
Shit, you're sharp. What's the first thing that's wrong with society? Probably in some ways, it being too good at the moment for many of us. And when times are really good for us, we've got too much time on our hands to make problems that don't exist into actual things that do exist, which actually still don't exist, but because we're so in our minds, now we can't, I don't know, say anything.
Like being, having too much, you mean materially well, too materially well off?
Yeah, probably that as well. Because once they've so-called got everything material, then it's like, and if they've got all their money in check and all that kind of stuff, depends on the person, of course, but then it's just a mind game.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
Interesting.
I'm going to say technology as well.
Why is technology a problem?
Because it just engulfs some people, and then they don't know how to talk to people like a human. It's just all screen.
But then that's that if you get rid of those, if you wipe those things out, not that the question's really saying about wiping them out, but if you did, you'd lose. So you think the world would be better if we were all struggling more? If everything was harder, things would be better.
Well, I guess so, isn't it? Probably get rid of me as well. I was about to say, get rid of all the weak. Only the strongest will survive.
It's that when they do the pyramid of needs, and you've got shelter, food, stuff like that on the bottom, and then I guess we're getting as we get all those things sorted, it's your personal identity becomes a really big issue, which actually is really not a life and death issue, but can feel loads of turmoil and stuff like that. So yeah, I guess I can see what you mean.
Nicely done. Your cold went off. Tawonga, I'm getting rid of you. Chloe's taking your spot. Sorry.
I don't do role playing impressions though, so that would be a loss.
That's so. Don't say it like that. That role play. No, we already did that last episode. It was our first time doing it.
Yeah, fair.
For 2, 3, 4 episodes, 2 or 3 maybe. Okay, what's your answer?
I think the main problem is that we think that the humans are the best thing. I don't know how to put it in a sentence, but I think if the world was more animist and didn't think that humans were the be all and end all.
What's animist mean? That's a nice word.
Recognizing that other things other than humans have got spirits.
Oh yeah.
And
so egotistical sort of thing.
Yeah, definitely. I think if we I think if we were more humble in ourselves and more receptive to.
So less prideful.
Yeah.
And less greed. Does that come under that, or
then we wouldn't have we wouldn't be enslaving each other so much, and we wouldn't be fucking the environment, which is in turn fucking us so deeply. I think that would be a really good way to just. What was the question again?
What's
wrong with
society in the modern day?
Yeah, I think that's really wrong.
Good chat.
Society.
GG.
There's obviously so much that's wrong with it.
What's one of your turn-offs? Or 3 of your turn-offs in the opposite sex? Or someone you're wishing to court?
Yeah, because that's not just the opposite sex, obviously. Wow, I really never thought of that. I guess. No, do you know what? I just can't think. There must be something. Do you know what yours is?
Bad hygiene. If a pum smells, that's disgusting.
I mean, that's like
Bad breath.
Yeah, disgust is like
You're gonna say it's too obvious.
No, I think that's a good one.
Rudeness. Like,
though sometimes if someone smells and you're really attracted to them, the smell doesn't bother you.
That's true. Just like true rudeness and character. Like for me, if it's a woman and she's like acting very masculine and very loud and trying to like start fights with me and shout and play mind game and all this sort of stuff, it's like, yo, this is toxic, get away. That's a big turn off. I don't really care how they look. And the third one, liars as well.
Yeah, that's a big one.
They're annoying, man.
Yeah.
Like, stop lying to yourself.
Yeah.
Stop lying to me.
Yeah, that's a confusing one to be around. Yeah, I think like lying is a good one actually. That just would be like what? But I think maybe I'm a bit naive and I'm not very good at like recognising lies. Normally, I just think someone's saying the truth.
It just takes some time, innit?
Yeah.
And then you know they're a liar.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes it comes out, or it's obvious that things don't match up. I think like not listening, like people, so often people just like they're just not listening at all. Yeah, that's and you're like, even like
that's a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like a lot of people, I can be attracted to people that talk like loads. I end up like seeming to go towards people that like can talk for England.
Yeah.
Even though I don't really like that in itself, but it just seems to be like I end up with people like that. But it's like I need to know that like what I am saying like is being heard, and sometimes it's like I don't need to be here. Someone's talking and you're like, you'll respond and you're like, I know that you haven't even listened to what I've said, because if you had, it would not make sense for you to carry on talking. I think that's so cool.
Yeah, exactly. And then you have to keep repeating yourself.
Yeah.
And put it into different like ways.
Yeah.
Saying it. It's just like dead.
That just is like switch off, yeah. I guess like being like bitchy, like, like some, maybe not really necessarily turn off, but as a person, like if someone's like wanting to like gossip all the time,
yeah,
I'm not really down with that.
Yeah, that's dead as well. I can't be asked for that. People who flake a lot as well.
Yeah, well, no, I like that actually.
Nah.
What, you're a flake though?
How am I? I'm never a flake.
I'd say you're a bit flaky. Is that really shocking?
What, with you? Have I been a flake? Have I flaked on you?
Yeah.
Did I tell you like beforehand?
Well, I don't think it's. I don't think it's that much of a big deal, because I'm like, well, just like things change in life, like, or sometimes you don't feel like it, so it's like fair enough. But yeah, definitely, like we've been like, oh, we're gonna meet, and then you've been like, oh, not come out or whatever.
Oh, my bad.
It's funny that you hate that.
Yeah. No, because if it's repetitive, like how many times are you going to do it? And they keep flaking and flaking and flaking and flaking. It's like just a waste.
Yeah. I'm trying to think though of like something that someone could do that I'd just be like immediately like no, like that's changed things.
Your turn.
What?
For the questions on the phone.
Oh, did you get that off there?
No, I just come up with it. I think I might have said it last podcast to Tawonga.
Is it? What did Tawonga say?
I weren't listening to him.
Oh.
Nah, I love you really, Tawonga.
I'll have to go back and listen. How do you look when you... What is this? Some of the questions, I don't know what they mean. How do you look when you dress up traditionally? What does that mean?
You look like a person who's dressing up traditionally. I don't get it.
I don't really know.
Are they trying to say... I don't get it.
No, I didn't get it. Life lessons. Oh. I think you just need to talk whilst I'm reading this. It's all about like
Yeah.
India. Like, what's wrong with the Indian education system?
What?
What are the biggest ironies in India?
Sometimes it do get quiet on the podcast, but like, because we're outside in nature, I hear all the birds and everything. It's more like welcoming for
Yeah,
me to just want to take it in and shit.
yeah,
Definitely a chilled podcast.
yeah.
Apparently, India accidentally launched like a rocket or something into Pakistan.
What? How do you
It's
do
so
that?
random.
Okay, do you think that nuclear weapons okay?
I don't really see the. Well, if your enemy's got them, yes, they're okay now. You need them.
Really?
But, like, yeah, but like the fact that we have that sort of power that can just kill, like how many, take up make how much destruction.
Yeah.
It's kind of like so animalistic of us, or still, 'cause it's so out of fear.
So you wouldn't be in favour of like nuclear disarmament for this country?
What do you mean, like?
Like us,
sending
like
up-
being like we're gonna give up our weapons.
Oh, no. So I'd like to be, and have that outlook and everything, but nah. That's just sadly how the world is. It can't be like that. You need like defence and shit.
Loads of countries don't have them though.
It's true. But loads of countries are also great friends with ones who do. Hey, that rhymed?
Did it?
I don't know.
I don't think it did.
Oh, fuck you, man.
Wait, maybe it did. I didn't hear that.
Shoot me down. Just shoot me down.
Yeah.
You're not in favour of them, or you are.
I'm definitely not in favour of them.
Yeah. How come? What if we had aliens come onto the planet? That's some like weapon we got there to try to get rid of them, and they was trying to like kill us.
Just like so much, like it costs so much to maintain them. Just like why? Like why?
Yeah, but
There's like enough. There's enough like challenges. Like why? I guess it's like the only way. Like sometimes if I'm like if I feel like I can make myself be like really detached and just be like, oh, it's interest, it's just interest. Like I can imagine that I'm not a human and that I'm an outsider looking in, and I'm like, oh, how interesting. And it's the only way I can think it's okay is if I like don't care about humanity, and the only way I can do it is if I'm not feeling like a human. So I can sometimes like step back and be like, oh, how curious. Like as like in an like art way, it's like I think it's interest. Just anything can be interesting. Like
yeah, definitely. Just take the step of the what's it called, the observer. From it. But maybe that's a part of the people who created that. They also maybe had to have that sort of outlook about it. Or they didn't have no outlook at all.
yeah, it's like ambition. That's why I think like ambition can be like really dangerous, because people, the people working on it were just like scientists, like being like, can we do this? Like, can we like achieve this like scientific and like technological feat? And not really. Well, I assume they weren't really like thinking about like the implications. But it is amazing. Like, I think it is quite cool to know that you can like split an atom and that makes like such a big, such a small thing.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
mad. It's almost like alien technology in itself.
Yeah, definitely.
That sort of shit.
Yeah. I've been watching such a good TV program on Netflix.
What is it?
It's called Life After Death with Tyler Henry. Have you heard of it?
Tyler Henry?
Yeah, have you heard of him?
No.
He's
I was thinking of Afterlife. Sorry.
Oh, what's that though?
No, you do yours first. What's Life After Death?
Tyler Henry is like a really famous like American medium, and he just like goes and does like medium things where he like he just meets someone and tells them about the person that died.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that one.
It's good. What's life after death? What's afterlife?
So he's a medium.
Yeah, he's a medium.
Is it like really accurate and shit?
It's funny because it's like like he'll meet up with people and just tell them like what they know, like just like tell them how their loved ones died, and they're like, yeah, I know. It's really good. You know, and then he'll always be like, oh, you know, like they're not in pain and they want you to let it go and move on. That's what he says to everyone. But I do also think, I definitely believe like he's got some talent and he's doing it. I don't think he's like faking.
Yeah. I think he's faking.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you think it's impossible?
Yeah. Wait, we didn't have a chat about this before. We had a chat about if I believed in psychics or not.
Did you not?
Mediums. No.
That's weird.
I don't know. What? You're just saying weird?
That's weird, yeah.
Weird. No, you're weird for believing in that.
No, yeah, it's weird not to. Well, aren't you a bit psychic though?
Huh?
Aren't you a bit psychic?
Huh? Where did I say? Oh yeah, because of that situation before. Do you want to say it? The story? Do you want me to tell her?
When you tell it,
Okay.
and then you can reveal how it was done.
Okay, so we was at a place. What was you doing?
We were doing like a little workshop. And
Workshop thing. I was living in a hostel at the time, and here comes along Chloe with her friend, and we're talking about like this thing, whatever she's got on the table, and then I just guessed the tattoo
You were like
from her friend's like arm.
it's just like you got her infinity tattoo on your arm, but then she was wearing like long. She wasn't wearing, as I remember, she wasn't wearing short sleeves. She had long sleeves on.
Yeah,
and we
it
were
wasn't
like,
on show.
How did you know that?
It was just predictable.
No, it's not.
Probably character reading or something. It was just predictable.
That's psychic.
That's not psychic. That's not psychic.
But did you actually just guess you hadn't seen a picture of her before?
Did I guess I had seen a picture of her before?
No, you hadn't seen a picture of her to know that she had that tattoo.
No. So I just met her that day, innit? But it was just a little predictable.
I don't know what to believe here.
Yeah. I don't know the tricks.
Because there are so many obvious tattoos. Like, an infinity sign is like one of the tattoos, one of like 200 tattoos in the world that like quite a few people might have.
Yeah, it is common.
But then why on her arm?
No idea.
I've never met anyone else that has an infinity tattoo on their arm. Have you?
You probably. Probably.
I think you're a bit psychic. I think like psychic can just be like misunderstood. Like it's not that deep like to be psychic.
Maybe in them situations, if you want to believe that it may exist slightly, but with the medium's case, I believe that they're hustlers and swinglers, if that's the right word.
Swinglers.
Is that the right word?
Not people that have sex with each other.
Huh?
It's not couples that like change their partners.
Shit. Swinglers.
I think you've combined swingers and swindlers.
Swindlers. Yeah, that. I don't know. They just ask certain open-ended questions that can lead the person into saying this and that. And I went to one with my mum when I was a lot younger, as a kid, because my mum's into that stuff as well. It was like a spiritual church, they called it, as a medium. And then as you went in, you had to write down your name and some stuff about yourself. And yeah, they had like one of them people writing down everything they were saying, so then they could sell back to the people what their dead relatives were saying or something. And obviously, like, my mum's like believing in it all and that kind of stuff. And he's talking about a granddad Bob, or like some older granddad that's died. He's on about my granddad Bob, and he told me to do my laces up on my bike, but like I'm a little kid. And my laces are going to be undone quite a bit because I don't even know how to like do them yet.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm gonna have a bike. Most little kids have a bike.
Yeah.
But I wasn't really too impressed.
Yeah, I think it's definitely like an easy field to. This is what the guy Tyler Henry was saying. He was like, unfortunately, this isn't a regulated field. Like, there's no, it's not like other professions where you get a certificate and you're regulated and you can prove that you're like different from some people who are just like faking.
You know what that's called?
What?
A hustle.
Yeah.
It's a hustle.
Yeah. What he was doing then?
Yeah, it's hustling.
Oh, I see. Well, that's just me believing everyone. No, that is true.
No, you should watch the Darren Brown.
Oh, yeah, I've watched it. It's good as well.
And he went to the medium as well.
Yeah, and he's like, he can do it. He can do it just with like mind games. There's like intellectual ways of doing it.
That's what it is.
Do you know what's funny though? Like, it's funny that your mum was into it, because I find like most people, a lot of people I know, not all actually, there's some exceptions, but like there's a big tendency for people to like switch. If you've got a really like spiritual mum or dad, then you're like really rational, and then my parents are like so rational. So I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm like, you deviate from, or what their like perspective, you're just like, oh, that's bullshit. Like, so that's probably what it comes down to.
Maybe it just comes down to my mum being a female. Most females digging that sort of shit.
That's just obviously not true. What stupid. What? Maybe there's a slight tendency. Maybe there's more females on like in those spaces than males. Probably that might be true actually.
Maybe I'll have to look at the crowds next time. Watch one of the shows. See what the ratio is.
Yeah. You have to watch one of the shows then. But there's no point because you'll just be like, oh, it's like easy stuff he's saying, which is fair.
It's a cool skill though.
Yeah, for sure.
I'd be doing that to people and then getting them to subscribe to Mind's Creed after.
There you go. Could be your next step.
Mm.
Oh, there's like big ones with the heads, the big birds with the heads to come near us again.
Yeah, they're really cool. I wish I knew what they was called.
Maybe it's a grebe. Like I've got this word in my head.
A grebe.
So I have a look at a picture of a grebe, see if that's what it is. Oh look, that's the ginger one. They've got cool eyes as well. Is that the one you were thinking of?
Mm-hmm.
Grebe.
I've seen it on the canal like a few years ago. It's just really exciting because I've never seen a bird like that before. And sometimes when I be watching them, you know when they go under?
Yeah.
They'll be under for like 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, damn.
And then they come up, you just like, I like when they go under and you've got no idea what direction they're going to come up in. And then they're like, what?
It's like battleships or something.
Yeah.
That'd be like a gambling thing. If they had like an inflatable battleship thing and a lot of them birds in there, and they see where the bird goes up.
Yeah, if you could put a grid on the water, then you could be like, that would be quite fun.
There'd be people.
That's the kind of thing that like VR, you know, not VR, but like technology, you could have like some kind of system where you could easily like see that, and then, you know what I mean? You could like see the grid mapped on, and then you could be like, that's
so they'd be watching it through a live stream as well, through VR.
Yeah, why not?
And gambling as well.
Look at these people, this team of people working out over there.
You want to join them?
I used to do this. It was like actually like military fitness in the park, and I loved it. It's so good. Because sometimes you do it at night, and this is what you're saying. Like we don't have enough troubles. Like we do it at night, and you'd be like running around the park at night, and you'd be like, run over there. And I'd always imagine it was like the end of the world. I'd be like, and so it gave me the adrenaline that I need.
I don't know, it wasn't like an exercise, but the last time I did something like that was loads of years ago, in like the Boy Scouts or something.
What? Something like what? Like doing press-ups outside and stuff?
Yeah, outside, in the mud, and like when it was dark. We had blindfolds.
What?
Blindfolds on.
You just put blindfolds on?
Yeah, I'm not going to go there. I had to put blindfolds on, and we had to like crouch and follow like a rope. That was like mazed around loads of different trees and shit.
Oh my god. Wait, was it dark? It didn't need to be dark if you were wearing a blindfold. Maybe you just was dark because you had a blindfold on.
You're probably right. Ah, shit. Don't do me like that. I gotta like, stay respectful out here and shit. And be very like cool and that. That's very shit. It probably weren't even dark, you're right.
That's cute.
I can't remember. Did you ever do any of that brownies and girl things?
I went to brownies for like a couple of weeks, and then I went on camp and I really didn't like it. And then I went to Sea Scouts, and we had to wear a little.
Sea Scouts.
It was a good one, to be fair, but this is the most of Sea Scouts, I would say.
Most of what?
Sea Scouts. Sorry, it's hard to say.
Sea Scouts. Why are they called Sea Scouts?
Because they're the scouts of the sea.
Okay. Fish.
Yeah, you
Is
do.
it just women?
No, it was like mostly men or boys all the time, but there was a few of us.
It's cool. I never heard of that before.
Because there's not really much sea in Birmingham, so...
Oh.
They do actually have like sea cadets around here though.
Shots fired.
There was also like sea cadets where I grew up, and the sea cadets, we were like, oh, they're really... I was going to say lame. I don't want to use... I want to get a better word than lame, because I think lame's maybe a bit offensive.
I see sea cadets, the dudes with like white clothes on and the blue finger.
And they didn't really go in the sea, and they were always like worried about getting their uniform dirty. But sometimes we did have to wear these funny little... We had to like parade around the town wearing a funny little sailor's hat. That was a low point. And we had to do like... I remember I had like a flashback of this the other day. Like we had to like learn like the military drill. Like you'd have to be like...
No way.
And they were like, about turn, and you'd be like... Which was like so surreal to think of myself like as a teenager or younger maybe doing that.
We had to do a little bit of that as well. You had to do like 3 fingers up and put it up to your up to your head and like salute the flag or something.
Oh, like nationalist beginnings.
Yeah. Like America and shit.
Would you ever go into war? Would you ever be a soldier and fight in a war?
My whole of my life I said no, but like these days, probably if the money is good enough. Yeah.
Really?
And when you say fighting the war, do you mean like front line?
I guess so.
Well, that could be anything. Okay, front line.
Yeah. I mean, like, if you're going into the army, like, you might have to go to war. That's kind of the point.
Yeah, I guess so.
I guess it's a bit different. I don't feel like we, like, fight in the trenches like World War One anymore, but you still have, you know, like, you still might, like, die in combat for sure.
Yeah. But, shit, if I ain't got, like, that purpose, that, or that meaning, or have something to die for, like, one of the highest honour is to probably die for, like, that sort of thing, innit?
Yeah.
For peace and justice and all that kind of stuff. And it's a man's job, basically, to die in war, so we're used to it out here.
What happened to your men's rights views?
I'm joking.
Oh, okay.
What? Which ones?
I would remember that for that film that was, like, men's rights, and it was, like, it was just saying how, like, men's life is, like, less valuable than...
Chloe's talking about the Red Pill documentary. Yeah, I still stick to some of them. It's sort of like it's true feminism shit, really. If we want to be like equal in all them sort of regards, but there's too much money to be made.
In what?
In the aspect of like divorce, family courts, and all that.
Wait, what?
In the aspect of like family courts, getting divorced, it normally doesn't turn out too well for the man. I'm talking about America as well.
Yeah, probably.
But obviously not just America, but. Yeah, the documentary's alright. Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. I remember it was like there was some things in it that's interesting.
What can you remember from it?
I remember having like a lot of like sketches as well, but I can't actually remember why that were, you know, the things that I remember that were like positive or like useful to think about what was...
Sorry, you say a lot of sketches?
A lot of... I don't know what I just said.
Oh, sorry.
Skepticism?
Okay, yeah. A lot of skepticism.
Well, I just can't remember much of the film actually, but what I remember about men's rights being like reasonably like valid and interesting is like, yeah, obviously like men's like suicide rates like super high for men, like, and yeah, like war, you know, all these like things of like masculinity and like being like sent off to war, and I guess like circumcision at birth is like kind of interesting, like.
What's also interesting is like there's a what's it called, like a product on the market that's like basically like blood and stuff, but it's made out of like what are they called again? Jesus, foreskins. When they chop, you know, the circumcision, like kids' foreskins and shit. It's made out of that.
What is this product?